From the burning oil fields of Saudi Arabia to the smouldering Syrian civil war to the streets of Sudan, tensions between and within nations have been on the rise. The United Nations Secretary General is well aware of the challenges.
The world is at a critical moment on several fronts. The climate emergence, rising inequality, an increase in hatred and intolerance, as well as an alarming number of peace and security challenges. Tensions are rising everywhere.
The problem is that the United Nations is only united when its member states are. And when it comes to tensions with Iran, the path to peace in Syria, and many other issues, the UN Security Council is divided. Powerful member states like the US preferring often to go it alone rather than build consensus. Even on the issue of climate change, which will dominate the first day of this week of high diplomacy, leaders from the US and Brazil and other big nations won't be at the podium. Until recently, it was hoped that this week could be an opportunity for direct talks between the US and Iran. The European Union wanted to revive the UN-backed Iran nuclear deal, a deal that was working but discarded by Washington and now being dismantled also by Iran. The bombing of the Saudi oil fields has dashed that diplomatic effort. And a path to peace in Afghanistan is also on the rocks after the US abruptly abandoned a deal with the Taliban. And then that perennial powder keg, the DPRK. Even the departure of the hawkish US National Security Advisor John Bolton hasn't kick-started the talks on its nuclear weapons program, though there is still some hope. After nearly 3 years of America-first foreign policy and with a new UN ambassador finally in place, the hope is that Washington might be in the mood for a bit of multilateralism.
There is the reality that U.S. unilateral power articulated and reasserted, presumably under the Trump era, actually doesn't work. And so what institutions do exist for there to be international dialogue and diplomatic intercourse? Really, the UN is the primary instrument. So in that sense, I don't believe the UN has reduced its significance.
From helping bring back peace and security to Afghanistan to settling the long simmering civil wars in South Sudan, Syria and Libya, the work of the United Nations has never been more vital. But 2019 so far has been more about failure than success. Nathan King, CGTN, Washington.